Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Sorry for this being probably a later upload than normal, but we're taking a break from our normal Marvel and or DC content some of the times, mostly Marvel content, as today is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. God bless you. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Hope Monday isn't too bad to a wonderful start of a wonderful new week as the school year is coming to a close for a minute. So, today for Star Wars Day, I'll be showing how to watch Star Wars in chronologically, in release order, and with and without the shows and with just the movies and with the movies and the shows included. And so let's get on into it. Hope you have fun. So, other ways to watch Star Wars, first up, we have release order. So, that would be watching it from the original trilogy, then watching the prequel trilogy, then, if you want to put yourself through the suffering, the sequel trilogy. Why do I say that? The sequel trilogy starts off with a okay and mirror image of the original trilogy, but the sequel trilogy doesn't end and doesn't have as well of cohesion as the original trilogy. Release order just straight up means original trilogy came out in the 70s and 80s. The prequel trilogy came out in the 90s and 2000s when I was born, and the sequels came out in the 2010s. So it's quite simple and easy to watch. Then we have a few other methods outside of that. So now we have timeline order, which means it would be to watch episodes 1 through 3, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, all as the first three, then watch Solo and Rogue One, the Star Wars stories, who give better depth towards Han Solo, but that can be watched in and of itself after you've watched the regular other movies. But Rogue One is a good telling of a nice break from the original Skywalker saga while also giving more depth to the Beat 2 episode for itself. But if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. It's very much recommended if you do, in fact, become a Star Wars fan. Which, by the time you finish the prequel trilogy, if you're not a Star Wars fan, I would be kind of surprised. But, anyways, after those two optional ones, you have episodes 4, 5, and 6 as the original trilogy comes about, which came out in 1970, 79, and 81, I believe so. And so you have A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Now, after that, you would then have The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is a movie that's coming out in a few weeks. But if you're watching all of it right now before this comes out, disregard that. You can watch it when it comes out in theaters. Then you have the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Again, if you want to put yourself through suffering. And now we'll go through all of Star Wars you should watch, shows and movies included. And at the end, I'll also tell you one more way you can watch Star Wars as well, that I didn't put in the slides because I just thought of it. But let's get into the real shows and movies timeline order. So the true timeline order will be split up into three parts: prequel, original, and sequel. So, and that's because just the sheer amount of content that's in the prequel trilogy and a little bit more in the original trilogy, but not nearly as much, but mostly because the prequel trilogy has so much in such a short span. The prequel trilogy era will also include the stuff of everything before the original trilogy as well. So we have the first two episodes of Star Wars, The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Then we have the Clone Wars animated movie. And then we also have the Clone Wars 7 seasons show, all 7 seasons. Then you have Revenge of the Sith. Then you have the Bad Batch. Then you can also probably put Maul Shadow Lord here as well. Yeah, I didn't put it in the slide for some reason. Then you have Solo: A Star Wars Story. Then you have Star Wars Rebels. and then you have Andor, and finally Rogue One as everything before the original trilogy. So it's the first two episodes, the animated Clone Wars movie, the Clone Wars show, all 7 seasons, maybe a lot. Just go at your own pace with it. Then you have episode 3, Bad Batch and Maul. Uh, then you have Solo, Rebels, Andor, Rogue One, and now for the original part of Star Wars. All right, so now that we've covered everything from the prequel era to up to everything before A New Hope, you have the entirety of the original trilogy with no extra shows at all, and then so that's episodes 4, 5, and 6, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And then you can take a break from the Skywalker saga to watch other things, like The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and the Ahsoka Season 1. Season 2 is about to be starting to film, or something like that. Season 2 should come out like this year or next year. Then we also have the movie that's coming out in just a few weeks, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which follows Mando and Grogu's adventures after The Mandalorian Season 3. So, now off to the technically still mandatory timeline order, but most people call it the optional or is it canon part. Alright, so now we have the last Star Wars animated show being Star Wars Resistance, which primarily takes place before and maybe after Force Awakens. Season 2 is a bit weird about the timeline and stuff. And it's a nice, wonderful break from the normal Star Wars stuff. Season 2 isn't as good as Season 1, but it's still pretty decent. Then you have The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, and that ends the timeline order. Sequel trilogy is not well liked. If you like it, that's your own decision. I don't really like The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker at all. But if you like them, that's you, and I'm not here to judge you at all. That's just you. So now we have one more order, and then that'll be it. Alright, so lastly, what some people call a wonderful way to watch Star Wars in the best way possible is watch A New Hope, watch The Empire Strikes Back, then watch Attack of the Clones, then watch after Empire Strikes Back, The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and then Revenge of the Sith, then Return of the Jedi, and that's the recommended way to watch the original 6 movies. Outside of that, not too many people recommend the sequel trilogy, but it's on your own thing. I would recommend that if you're watching Star Wars for the first time, watch the 6 movies in whichever order you want, and then after that, then rewatch the movies and incorporate the shows in the in-betweens of each movie where they fit into the timeline. That's for me. You can do whatever you want, but I thank you all for watching. If you have liked the video, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We will have another video out tomorrow night with all of Phase 5 combined, and I will see you all then and later this week multiple times. I thank you all for watching. Please comment below. Let's get the chat rolling. I love to talk to y'all. Thank you. God bless. Hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.